Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is yours truly reporting from the Think Pieces and Conversations podcast. All right. Now, before you continue on to this audio recording, this visual recording, you'll notice the title of this episode. It's called Right on Schedule. Now, what you may thinking is, oh, he's going to talk about President Trump and how he reclassified marijuana. Yes, but I don't want you to get excited because we're just going to start this video. We're going to start right off the top. Right off the top. This is one of the topics that I want to talk about, and maybe I'll talk about one other thing. But yeah, let's go. Let's get it.
Today, I'm pleased to announce that I will be signing an executive order to reschedule marijuana from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3 controlled substance with legitimate medical uses. We have people begging for me to do this, people that are in great pain. For decades, this action has been requested by American patients suffering from extreme pain, incurable diseases, aggressive cancers, seizure disorders, neurological problems, and more, including numerous veterans with service-related injuries and older Americans who live with chronic medical problems that severely degrade their quality of life. And it's so really, I can't tell you, I think I probably have received more phone calls on this, on doing what we're doing. I don't think
Now, before I give my assessment on this, I want to teach you guys something for today. Before you cheer and, say, oh, weed is about to be free. Oh my God. Weed is about to be legal. This is why the internet exists. One of the reasons why the internet exists. I'm gonna tell you right now. So, pre-planned, I already put in ChatGPT. What is a schedule? Let me say exactly what I said. Hey ChatGPT, what happens when a drug gets changed from a Schedule 1 drug to a Schedule 3? For example, like when Trump changed marijuana from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3, what happens now? Number 1, federal legal status remains controlled, not legalized. I need y'all to put that in y'all head, right? So with Schedule 3 drugs, if you're a Schedule 1 drug, there is no accepted medical use. All right, there's zero accepted medical use, which means, and also has a high potential for abuse. So a Schedule 1 drug is probably cocaine, it's probably heroin, it's probably fentanyl, it's probably all of the worst that you can mention. So when you have marijuana going from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3, right? These drugs are considered to have currently accepted medical use in treatment and moderate to low potential for physical dependence. Now, there are cases for it being a Schedule 1 or a Schedule 3. There are cases for it to be a high potential for physical dependence, high potential for mental dependence. I know some weed heads out there. They can't get up out the bed, they can't eat breakfast before they smoke. They can't. This is a fact. This is not fiction. This is not me making up stories. Right? Now, I think marijuana has very good things that it could do for people. People that have autism, people that have pain, people that have some type of neurological things going on with them. It does. But just like with every good thing, there is a bad side. Now, I think the pros do outweigh the cons if it is controlled and regulated, even though it may become a fully legitimate substance that could be used, a recreational substance that could be used. But there are folks, not everybody could smoke. Not everybody should drink liquor. Not everybody should take certain substances that may upgrade a certain part of you that, you know, increase your creativity or increase your productivity or increase your something that makes you a better person, something that makes you more productive in society. Sometimes drugs like this does the complete opposite. There are people that all they do all day is smoke, eat, watch TV. They don't work out. They don't do nothing productive. They have nothing going on. But they always got some money to go to the weed man and get them a blunt or two so they'll be able to survive mentally and live in this euphoric space that makes them believe that they're doing something with their lives because unfortunately marijuana has that effect on your brain. You could be doing nothing at all with your life, but that blunt will make it feel like everything is all good. And this is a fact. This is not me joking. This is not me spreading fiction. You understand? Let's get to number 2. Federal criminal penalties change only in limited ways. Some cannabis related federal penalties could be reduced because penalties in the CSA depend in part on scheduling. But many marijuana specific federal criminal penalties will remain the same even after rescheduling. You can still go to jail. Even after rescheduling, because they are written directly into the CSA regardless of schedule. There's no automatic amnesty for past convictions. I need you to write that in your brains, ladies and gentlemen. There's no automatic amnesty for past convictions and existing federal crimes tied to possession, distribution, and trafficking still apply under federal law. I don't think you guys realize how touchy this subject is. How touchy this subject is for many generations, many types of people. The Gen Zs, the baby boomers, the young guys, the old guys, the middle-aged guys, the women, the white women, the black women. This has large disagreements and agreements on both sides, every side. There are people that don't want, a lot of people, they don't want to smell that nowhere. They don't want to go to downtown at a nice spot and they don't want to smell that because it has a stigma to it. Marijuana has a stigma. It has a, people look at it a certain way. It's not looked at like how an urban community may look at it, or how a community in California may look at it that's in a mixed crowd, or it's not looked at as something, it's not looked at as a civilized product. It's not looked at as something that you can brag on. Yo, I smoke weed. It doesn't work that way. You see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't. So when I'm telling people yo, you gotta look at this in a very, very objective point of view, and don't stare at it with these rose-colored sunglasses that you may have on. Because I know a lot of people, they love CBD, they love cannabis, they love hemp, they love marijuana. So when you see this being changed from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3, this is a positive. This is a positive move. I don't know if it's looked at as a positive move for everybody on the center, the left, or the right. I don't know. That is up to you. Is this going to help the Republicans win the midterms? I don't know. To be honest, I think the Republicans are very confident, and a little too confident in how much power they have going into the midterms, and they're not taking their opponent seriously, just like the opponent didn't take him seriously during the 2024 election. I don't think they took him that serious. They ain't take him serious the first time he shot in. Number 3, medical use is recognized federally in theory. Now you can determine what that means. In theory is recognized federally. So that job that says, yo, you can't smoke, guess what? You can't have that weed in your system. Guess what? You still can't have that weed in your system. All right? You still can't have that weed in your system. Until they change it, every company can respond. Every company that's not federal, they can go about you having drugs in your system however they want. Yo, we don't like that you had that stuff in your system. We think it makes you lazy. We don't want any lazy employees. You can't have that in your system. We need you to be upright. We need you to be alert. We need you to be paying attention to your work. We need you to be paying attention to the customers. We need you to stay on your job at all times. That's not going to change. Until everybody is on the same page, that's not going to change. A positive note to this: research becomes easier. Schedule 1 status imposes tight federal research limits, including special DEA licensing and restricted supply sources. With Schedule 3 status, those barriers are eased, not taken away 100%. Eased, all right? Researchers will face fewer regulatory hurdles, and access to study-grade cannabis will be simplified. Federal agencies are also specifically directed to support expanded medical and scientific research. This is what I think an executive order is, because this is only an executive order that Trump has decided to write down and do. Executive orders are, it's like you upping the priority list on the list of things that you have to do. When you add an executive order to something, hey, we're going to have an executive order to fix the border. This border problem goes to the top of the priority list in order to go and somebody write into law that, listen, this is what we're going to do about this. This is what we're going to do about that. Instead of focusing on all the thousands upon thousands of other things, we're going to place this thing up the priority list. That's the only thing I see executive orders are, in my eyes. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be completely off. I don't know. That's how I see it, because an executive order, everybody doesn't just walk up and be like, oh, you written an executive order, so we just got to do it right now. No, that's not how this thing works. That's not how the government works. There's a system and checks and balances for a reason. Executive orders just raise the priority on something. Once you give an executive order to it, okay, this is up at the top of the priority list. This is in the top 10, top 20 of the priority list. Let's get this done. Let's write some type of law. Let's go to the Senate. Let's go to the House. Let's figure it out. tax and financial impacts for businesses. One of the biggest practical changes of federal tax treatment, current federal tax law, Internal Revenue Code 280E prohibits cannabis businesses from taking ordinary business deductions because marijuana is a Schedule 1 drug. Now, you can write these things off. Now, they might be able to go to the bank. They might be able to deposit their money in the bank. They don't need to have a safe in their trap house no more with cash. They could put their money in the bank. Okay? This is a game changer for the marijuana industry in California. This is a game changer for the marijuana industry in Columbia. What is it? Columbus, Georgia? What's that place called, man? Colorado. That's going to change for New York. It's going to change for all the other big hemp cities in the United States. And it may even open the door for future cities that respond to marijuana in a non-restrictive manner. Oh, state laws still matter. Number 7. So, I know everybody's hype. Yo, 8, you heard about what Trump did, man? I can't wait. Legalizing marijuana. Y'all have to educate yourselves. Stop relying on the guy in the room. You see him, he knows his politics, and you just like, yo, let's just use him as ChatGPT. Let's just use him as Google. I'm tired of teaching y'all. I'm gonna be honest, because when I be in the room by myself chilling and I think about y'all and how ignorant y'all are in terms of politics, in terms of just life, y'all don't know how to wear, y'all don't know like simple things. Y'all don't know how to clean y'all, make y'all beds up. Y'all don't know how to find what type of material fits good in your body. Yes, you should wear cotton. Cotton fits good in your body. A lot of y'all don't floss. Like, a lot of y'all hygiene is bad. Like, a lot of y'all ain't read a book in 2-3 years. Y'all, and then I sit up in these rooms, these break rooms, and I argue with y'all for what? What am I arguing with you for? Like, honestly, y'all don't know simple things. Y'all rely on ABC News, NBC News, AOC, Jasmine Crockett, Love and Hip Hop, a celebrity that pushes narcotics, drugs, all types of recreational interest in women, and y'all listen to them for politics. Like, you supposed to listen to them for art. You're supposed to listen to these actors for movies. You see them in a movie, you see them in a reality show, you get entertained by them. Be entertained, that's it. But they go up on these ABC News and they sit down with Michelle Obama and they say, Trump man bad. Or Cardi B gets them on stage and she says, Trump says. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find this shit, bro. Like, y'all get up on these platforms and y'all listen to these people for politics and life advice.
Trump says he's going to,
like, this is what y'all glorify. There was one rapper, I think it was Joel Santana. He gets up, he says, yo, I don't think kids should learn how to read, or something like that. Yo, reading is not important. Reading is not important. Something like that, he said.
Nah, but,
and I think that shit gonna take over.
nah, but seriously though,
His voice
G shit though, we gotta start teaching our kids though. Just that.
Jewels
Nah, but
and I think that shit gonna take over.
nah, but seriously though,
his voice on some
G shit though, we gotta start teaching our kids though, just that just financial wealth and literacy and all that shit early, cause by the time they get to 9th grade, they should be just learning how to start businesses and how to. But they don't.
I like what he said in the beginning, but look what he says after that. Look what he says after that, bro. Look what he says after that.
Nobody needs to know how to read.
Wait, stop. Wait,
I ain't gonna say that. When I say that, 9th grade, they should be just learning how to start businesses and how to. But they don't really need to know how to read.
Wait, stop. Wait, stop.
How you gonna start a business if you don't know how to read? How you gonna start a business if you don't know how to read? How you gonna move through life and know what you're doing, know where you're going, if you don't know how to read just basic directions? You might be eating something that's poisonous. You might be eating something you ain't supposed to be eating. You might be doing something you ain't supposed to be doing, but the sign is right there, but you can't read it. You guys have to stop idolizing celebrities. Admire them for their art, admire them for their movies, admire them for giving you game on their expertise on what they do for a living. When it comes to politics, when it comes to things that directly affect your life, you need to close your ears and shut your eyes on them. They are not people worth idolizing in terms of what you really got to do in your life. Entertainment is a pit stop for the next time you got to do something important. That's what entertainment is. Entertainment is, oh, I'm gonna cut this movie on because I'm tired. I just came from work. Oh, I'm gonna cut this show on because I'm busy. I was busy all day. I got to take a break. You see what I'm saying? And listen, the idiots out there, which is about 90% of people, because these entertainers strike your emotions in such a high level, in such a level that it's hard for you to think that they don't mean much when it comes to the big picture. I'm talking to you. And it took me a long time to get to this point, because once you throw away the rose-colored sunglasses and you really understand, yo, me listening to this guy for this information hasn't changed me for the better. I like this guy's music. I like her music. But I shouldn't take none of that to heart. And we could segue that in terms of Diddy. Now, my last podcast, I talked about the first episode of the documentary. I got to about 3.5. I didn't get to 4. I didn't finish 4. But the conclusion that I came up with Diddy, right? You guys, they put these celebrities on. They throw them with Ellen DeGeneres. They throw them on The View. They bring up these topics because they're great for propaganda. They bring up these topics on politics. And they say, hey, what you think about what Trump is doing? Because all these celebrities are politically correct. They're going to go with what the narrative is. Oh, Trump, man, bad. Oh, Republicans, blah, 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 blah. They know you don't use your mind. They know you're an idiot. I'm talking to everybody out there listening to this. If you're not one of those idiots, then guess what? If it don't apply, let it fly. But when I say an idiot, a useful idiot, you're a useful idiot because there's so much reading material out there in the world. There's so much internet out there in the world. There's so much podcasts and articles and different points of views that you can hear, that you don't ever question things when they tell you something. COVID ain't teach you nothing. COVID ain't teach you to question nothing. You sitting here in 2025 and COVID still hasn't taught you anything. There's a lot of us like me that we have awakened to such a level after COVID. We just like, yo, from now on, I gotta question everything. There isn't no person that has not done the wrong thing. The propaganda is so deep, right? It's so sophisticated, yet it's not. If you have a common sense brain, if you have a brain that questions things, right? Trump said something about Rob Reiner. I think it was Rob Reiner. He gets on Twitter. He says something about Rob Reiner. I think his name is Rob Reiner. Is it Rob Reiner? Yeah, his son killed him, right? Hold on.
Mr. President, a number of Republicans have denounced your statement on Truth Social after the murder of Rob Reiner. Do you stand by that post?
Well, I wasn't a fan of his at all. He was a deranged person.
President Trump defending his attacks on renowned actor and director Rob Reiner, who along with his wife Michelle was brutally murdered over the weekend. On social media just one day after the attack, the president linking Reiner's murder to his activism and criticism of him, saying Reiner had a massive, unyielding, and incurable affliction with a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome. There is no evidence connecting the murders to Reiner's political views. Within hours of that post, several Republican lawmakers denouncing the president's work.
Now, and from an objective point of view, I could say, yo, Trump, you should have probably never said that because you playing politics. This is a politician game. You are appealing to people, right? Because most of the United States are stupid, right? This is just me keeping 100. I'm keeping it 1,000. Everybody in the United States thinks with their emotions. When they go to the voting booth, they're not thinking about how inflation got caused. Some of them don't even know the definition of inflation. They don't know that Black Lives Matter was a scam, that it was funded by George Soros. They don't know about the WEF. They don't know about tariffs and how tariffs work. They don't know that there's no man on planet Earth that could fix an inflation where during COVID they printed out $10 trillion plus worth of money, and then 10 trillion is so much money that the United States ain't never printed out that much in decades, let alone 3-4 years. The average person that goes to vote, that watches CBS, ABC, NBC, the reason why the propaganda works so well on y'all with these reality shows, with these rappers, these singers, the reason why they could get you so easy is because you're ill-informed. You believe everything they say. You lead your life through emotion. And they know that, so they gonna keep going with the narrative, right? So with this Rob Reiner situation, I would have never told Trump, yo, you need to say that, even though Rob Reiner did tell you and your people, your MAGA guys, F y'all, F this, F that. Y'all need to, the worst things he said. The reason why people gravitate towards Trump in this climate is because we're tired of being politically correct. They are tired of being politically correct. So this guy that says what he wants when he wants is out of the norm. He's not normal. We're not used to this. It seems like he's just a guy that I know from work that says what he wants when we in the break room. Seems like that guy. He seems like the guy we understand because we're that guy behind closed doors. Some of us are like that out loud. He's like that out loud in a totally different scale. He's like that out loud in the world as the #1 guy in the United States, the leader of the free world. So this is attractive to the people that voted for him in 2024. This is attractive to the people that voted for him in 2016, 2015. The average person could never come to those conclusions that I just said, because the average person doesn't think in that manner, in that detailed manner. They are going about their lives worried about what player missed what free throw shot in the game, who got signed to this baseball team, basketball team, how much money they made, what high school they went to. They know all those things in detail. But if you ask them, yo, how many Senate seats, how many yeses in the Senate do you need to pass a bill in the Senate? Now, to the people that know this, right? You listening to this and you know this. You know the answer to that. The people that have the same power to vote that you do don't know the answer to that. The same people that hold the same power to vote that you do don't know the answer to how many people is in the House of Representatives. They don't know who their judges are. A lot of them has never voted in their lives, and they're in their 40s, 50s. These are the people that you're having debates with every day at work. These are the people that you're having debates with every day on X. These are the people that you're having debates with or having thoughts about when you get on your phone, you scroll through X and you see a rage baiting tweet that is so ridiculous that you really just want to tell you looking at your phone, you like, yo, I want to say something to this idiot. This dude is stupid. And then you come back to my video and you say, yo, this guy's a rage baiter. Politics has become purely emotional, right? Now, let me get back to Diddy. I know I got off subject. When it comes to Diddy and his documentary, right? There were things that shocked me a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. There were some things that shocked me. Okay? There were some things that shocked me. What's the name of this shit? The Reckoning. And then I think about Diddy and I think about all the shenanigans he is and who he is, right? I thought about who he was, right? And I'm like, yo, everything here makes sense. He always wanted the spotlight from the beginning. This was the fuel that got him to his position. Okay? This is the sacrifices he made to get to that position. Bad or good, whatever you think in your eyes, everything made sense. Right? Diddy's gonna always be notorious for who he was, how he robbed people in their deals, how he did this to that one, how he have conspiracy with the death of Tupac, how he may have conspiracy with the death of Big. Because his power was threatened, his influence was threatened. They say that when you trap a rat in the corner, that's when it's at its most dangerous. Right? There are rumors of him blowing up cars. There are rumors of him doing this and that to this artist, hanging Wale off the balcony. And then the documentary comes out and you seem surprised. This guy gets up on CBS News or whatever news channel and he says something about what he believes another politician is. And a lot of y'all took that and ate that up. A lot of y'all took that and ate that up. See what I'm saying?
If this man is elected, we're not standing by no more getting killed. We're not scared of anybody standing up and standing
Look
by.
at Charlemagne.
We're on the verge of a race war. White men like Trump need to be banished.
These are the people that you idolize. You listen to their politics. You feed into, yo, we in a race war. Yo, this guy's this guy's that. And nobody ever asked the question. And then I'm going to go back to the smart people versus the ill-informed versus the dumb people. 90% of the nation is ill-informed. 90% of everybody in your city is ill-informed. Maybe it got better after COVID because a lot of people woke up, but a lot of people fell further into slumber after COVID. A lot of people are so deep into the darkness, they will never find their way out. And that light is common sense. That light is critical thinking. That light is doing research. That light is being objective. Yo, I don't think Trump is the savior, right? I don't think he's this great dude that's gonna fix the economy in 11 months. He was just elected in January. He inherited $18 trillion worth of printed money that got shot into the United States for a stimulus package so we could survive COVID. And inflation is going up because of it. And there's no way I ever thought that he was going to cure the economy in 11 months, 9 months, 10 months. You might start seeing things clear up in year 3, right? Because the last presidency was so bad that it don't matter what Trump did in these first 2 years. Is the main issue of affordability won't get solved, and that may cause the Republicans to lose the midterms. But the average person, yes, I'm talking to you, the average boomer, the average guy that tells me, yo, Trump is a bad guy just because he's white, and have totally forgot that in the early 2000s to before then, Trump was the king of New York. He was the king of New York. Every black rapper, singer, everybody wanted to take pictures with this guy. But the brain rot and the propaganda has been so well done to the idiots of the world. And I used to be one of y'all. I used to be ill-informed. I used to be in a deep slumber just like you. Then I had to break down the foundations of that caused me to be so ignorant. One of them was idolizing a celebrity. Never idolize a celebrity. None. You could look up to them in a certain way. You could admire their art, admire their works on movies, admire how they entertain you, laugh with them. These guys that you consider, yo, this guy looks like me because, you know, he might be from my hood and he's black. Yo, a color don't mean nothing. Color means nothing. It's about class. It's about what you know versus what you don't know. It's about connection. It's about your work ethic. It's about a lot more than what you look like. And that's the first psyop they ever told you. I believe this is my God honest truth. Right now at this state of my life, I believe that the first ever psyop that was ever placed on the earth, on human society, modern society, was racism. That's this moment of silence. I can hear the hearts burning right now. I can hear the anger. It's all burning in the back. I hear it. You hear it too, right? Hear that fire? Somebody just got angry. I believe one of the first major psyops that civilization has ever encountered was racism. You look at somebody else, they look at you, and then somebody implanted a seed in your head through however they did it, maybe through some type of media service, some way that gives a lot of people influence, or somebody that gives a lot of people influence. Yo, this person is a lighter skin tone than you. This person is a darker skin tone than you. That's ugly. Or he's a bad person. She's a bad person because she don't look like you. The aliens looking at us probably right now like, yo, did these idiots, these hairless, smelly, dumb human beings fall for this? They fell for, yo, these people are, you need to see them as a superior race, or you need to bleed into your head that these people that don't look like you is a superior or inferior race, and you fell for that. That's why aliens, they don't come down and chop it up with us, because they like, yo, y'all are so primitive, so weak-minded, that you let your oppressor, your real oppressor, your master, the one that placed the propaganda, the one that hides the truth from you, he told you that this person that don't look like you, just because they don't look like you, that's the enemy. Then you see these guys, they get on these podcasts, they sit down with Charlemagne, another person that's pushing propaganda, another person that stays politically correct or stays with the narrative, another person that guys like me that have common sense, that critically think at a very high level, read books, take care of our household, stay informed, don't listen to celebrities. We only listen to their music. We don't listen to them for their thoughts and how they think, how they feel. We don't care. Keep dribbling. Keep making those movies, whether you're white or black. Keep playing football. Keep kicking that ball inside the... We don't care. You understand? We don't give a shit. We look at these celebrities as pawns. Nothing more, nothing less. Pawns placed, or people that really worked hard to get up to a position of power and influence, that are now used as tools for propaganda in society. That's what they are, and that's it. Until they speak their mind, that's all they are, is a tool for propaganda. And that's propaganda on both sides. Any side that's trying to hide the truth, that's trying to shift your narrative, make you stop looking at something because it's closer to the truth and away from the agenda that they're trying to place on you, that's all propaganda. Left, right, middle, top, left, north, west, east, south. It don't matter where it's coming from. It's all propaganda. But are you aware of it? Your awareness tells you and shows you how far that their influence can go. If you have a lot of awareness, they have no influence on you, or very little. Or it gives you a objective to read, learn about. We're going to learn about this. We're going to read this. All right, we're going to study this. Was this person that saying this thing about this bill, was he correct? Was she correct? In DC, let me put this up. This is the last thing I'm going to talk about, right? They keep putting people that look like you, black people. I want you to hear this. I want you to hear this, right? I want you to clip this up. Put this in a clip. Black people, they keep placing people that look like us, that they've made fall to their knees. They make them They place them in power. They place them in front of the camera. They place them in positions in government and then put a camera in front of them. They place them in areas that they can get our vote. They place them in positions that they can get our screen time. They place them in positions that they can get just our attention, which is gold. Our attention is a currency. They place these people that look like us, a Diddy, right? They place these people, a Diddy. They place these people, a Jay-Z. They place these people, a Charlemagne the God. Yes, he worked hard to get to his position, right? He worked hard to get to his position. He came from Sumter, South Carolina, or wherever it's from. I respect it. But these people have big voices. These people have big influence on you, me, everybody that can't read, that don't research, that don't understand what's going on. He don't understand what's going on. He just understands the play that's happening, and he got to play along. All these celebrities have to play along. If they don't play along, the powers that be, the real people that's in the background puppeteering these things, they're gonna cut their water off. They're gonna cut their influence off. They're gonna put an SA charge on them. They're gonna bring somebody from their past to go over to the police station and say, this guy did this to me. You gotta listen. Guess what? I respect it. They're doing what they gotta do for their family. But what I don't respect is you need to keep doing what you're doing in entertainment and stop trying to place your views on politics, your views on being a cuck for the elites in terms of whatever they say. You're gonna go for. You have no voice. You have no backbone. If it goes against the status quo, then you're not gonna stand on that side because people are gonna look at you different. People don't want to accept you in the cookout. Oh, I can't go to the cookout no more. Oh my God. Wow. The people that say on their podcast, a Joe Budden podcast, when they speak about certain topics, they say, "Oh, we can't talk about that." Nah, we not saying that. We not doing that. We not. They barely talk about God in their podcast. They barely talk about religion in their podcast. Not saying that you should, but let me get off this rant. I think you guys understand what I'm saying. Nowadays, when people talk about God, in the great words of Nicki Minaj, Brooklyn native, you may have heard of her. When people start saying, she said this to Ray J, when Ray J talked about his God, she said, so who is your God? I know you say you talk about God, but who is your God? I know who my God is, right? Who is your God? I'm going to start asking people, who is your God? Because you can idolize anything and anything can become your God. Anything, anyone, any spirit, evil, good, they can be your God. Who is your God? Be specific. I think we both worshiping much different people. You push for the destabilization of a civilization. You push for that. We can't be worshiping the same God, right? You push for harming children. We can't believe in the same God, right? Hey man, make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. I really went on a rant. This is probably my longest podcast episode I've did in a long time. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. Check out my pod on every single podcast platform. Every podcast platform. Check it out. Think Pieces and Conversations. 8 Left Earth. I know I left Earth with that rant. I need you to be informed, man. I want you to go out there, go in your phones. You read something, you heard somebody, you heard one of your favorite rappers say something to you about what they believe in. I need you to go and research. Don't just get that shot of dopamine in your head because they're saying something that you believe as well and think that is correct. I need you to start questioning everybody, everything, even me. I'm out of here.